Welcome into the Gary Ayd Show here on the Cave, cavetalkradio.com, Cave Talk Radio app, and Facebook Live. Great to have you aboard. Gary Ayd, Rich Anselmo, and we are excited to break down Game 1 and Game 2 of this year's NBA season. We got a lot of other things to get to, of course, as well. We got some baseball, we got some football, but today's going to be a lot of basketball. So, Rich, you texted me during the game yesterday. I'm just going to read it.
No.
Rivers is an idiot. Thibault barely played, their best perimeter defender, and they should at least try him on Tatum. Doc sucks.
I was feeling good when I texted. I'm sorry. No one else was getting the job done. Why did he have 1 minute of playing time at the time I sent that to you in the fourth quarter?
It really doesn't make any sense. He needs to be on their in their rotation.
Yes.
And
their lack of bench production hurt them yesterday.
It did. I saw Harris miss a couple of shots he usually makes. He didn't have his best game. I noticed that.
It's hard to get in rhythm when you're not involved in the offense.
Yep, it's true. Trying to pull up the box score here. Obviously, Boston and Golden State both won.
Wiseman didn't look bad for his 16 minutes. 8.7 rebounds.
Sticking with this one for a minute. We'll get to Golden State in a second. Harden, big game, 35, 8, and 7 in the loss. Tatum basically equaled him, 35, 12, and 4 for the Celtics. Embiid with 26 and 15, also had 5 assists. Maxey and Harris, but then, like you said, Rich, it falls off a cliff. All those guys had 18 or more. The next guy had 6. The bench cumulatively had 11 points, contrasted by the Celtic bench, which had 34. There's your
Grant
game.
Williams just couldn't miss either.
Brogdon and Williams combined for 31 of those 34 points. So, I mean, that's the game. I mean, you hit it on the head right out of the gate. That bench play was the difference in this one. And this is what makes the Celtics a dangerous team. That's a good bench. I mean, the combination of Brogdon and Williams, and you still have, if he comes back healthy at some point, Gallinari. Robert Williams didn't play in this game. You still got Peyton Pritchard.
Still hurt as well.
Yep.
Don't discount Langford either.
And you got the fossil of Blake Griffin batting around too.
Oh, he actually played.
I know. Got 1 whole point.
Hey, he worked for that point.
I bet he
grab
did.
a few boards, though.
Yeah, he
I'll
did.
Give him that.
He did. So there you have it. Celtics win pretty convincingly.
And that should have been a better game. I was disappointed.
Yeah, I was too. I was expecting that game to be a little closer myself. I guess I just wasn't anticipating a complete 0 from the Philly bench. I mean, Harrell with just 2 points, Melton with 5, and to your point, Thibault never played. Courtmotz didn't get in this game. Milton didn't get in this game. Why is Doc afraid to play his bench? I mean, like, these guys didn't score not because they didn't play well, but because they didn't play, period.
I don't understand. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. When I coached 40-game seasons, I used to tell people that.
Right.
It doesn't happen in the first week. You have to use everything you've got.
Yeah.
You also don't want to make a habit of this, I'm sorry, and wear your starters out by February when you need them the most.
Right.
Unless you're Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, that's his MO. Harrell only played 10 minutes.
That's not enough time for him to get up and down the court and make a difference.
No, it's not. Thibault played a grand total of 1 minute.
Yeah.
Why?
That's what he was at when I texted you.
Yeah, that's all he got. That 1 minute. Real-time analysis there. All the starters over 30. Maxey led the way with 38. Harden and Embiid 37 apiece, 34 and 33 respectively for Harris and Tucker. I mean, those minutes aren't terrible for Harris, Tucker, and even Embiid and Harden. I think that's about right.
No, it is.
But like, if you're gonna have your bench be productive, you have to give them a chance to be productive. Hello.
Absolutely.
Getting to the second game last night, the Warriors before the game received their championship ring, so this game got a little bit of a late start. And that was good enough for me. I couldn't stay up to watch it, but the Warriors win this game pretty handedly. I thought maybe there'd be a little hangover. I thought maybe the Lakers would play with a chip on their shoulder, and the Lakers played reasonably well in this game, but the Warriors were just better. Both Curry and LeBron put on big performances. Curry with 33, 6 rebounds and 7 assists. LeBron with 31, 14 rebounds and 8 assists. I mean, every time LeBron puts up one of these stat lines, it just goes to my head like, this guy's in his 20th season and he's 38 years old.
I know.
And it doesn't even make sense. And I read these stat lines as if it's 2006. Like it's like this is just normal. Because it still is.
I know. It's amazing. Davis had a decent night. I still was not impressed. He didn't. I don't know. He needs to go. He needs to go into the post and just make these teams pay that play him smaller.
I agree.
But he plays right down to it.
Yeah, and to your point, he didn't rebound particularly well either because he wasn't around the basket enough. Only 6 boards, which isn't enough for someone like that. Westbrook had 19 and 11 in this game. That 11
and it was an
rebounds.
Efficient 19.
It was. Lonnie Walker did get the start, along with Pat Beverly.
Yes.
Yeah, I only call that out because if I don't call that out, you probably didn't notice that he was in the game because he had a total of 5 points, and Beverly even less with 3. So not exactly good. None. You talked about him extensively yesterday. He was the lone player on the Laker bench that produced. He had 13 points. And
again, Toscano Anderson didn't really get a chance to.
No, he didn't do much. He didn't get in, like he said, he didn't get in the game. Schroeder didn't play at all. Reeves and Ryan, the kind of storylines from and Scottie Pippen Jr., the kind of storylines from the offseason, didn't really do much. So yeah, this was a game. Again, both these games, I believe, were determined by the benches here. I mean, the Warrior bench led by Jordan Poole had balanced scoring throughout. Poole with 12, Green, DiVincenzo, Wiseman each with 8. Moody had 5. So I mean, you're talking
JaMychal Green and Wiseman each had 8 rebounds and 7 assists, or 8 points and 7 rebounds.
Yes.
That's nice because the Lakers didn't rebound particularly well except for LeBron and Westbrook.
That was it. Yep. So you have a total of about 40 points here on the Warrior bench. You got 30 between Green and Poole. 20 between Green and Poole. Another 16 between DiVincenzo and Wiseman. So that's 36. And then you have 41 altogether on the Warrior bench. Lakers, meanwhile, 13 from none and really nothing else. 3, 6, 9. So that's 21, 20, 23 points. So again, bench scoring was the difference in both games last night.
Yes.
That's what it boiled down to. Depth matters. It does.
It
just does.
it really does. And that's an underpublicized signing that the Warriors made. DiVincenzo will help them off the bench.
He will. He will. I'm a big fan of his game. The guy can really shoot. He knows how to find space.
He fits right in there.
Yeah, he's going to love playing there.
He does. He's like Thompson II, the way he moves without the ball, finds his spot, economical in his dribbling, although he can drive to the basket. That's just another good addition to the backcourt.
It is. No, it is. So both those games decided by bench scoring. Both the favorites win these games. Warriors received their rings. And I have to say, one thing that stood out to me in the first game, it looked like business as usual. The Celtics didn't look like they missed a beat with the coaching change.
No.
I was impressed with that.
He had their attention. That means a lot. If he has their ears, this is going to be easy for him. This is something he can do. I mean, he's worked up to this for years.
Of course. Yeah,
He's not inexperienced.
Right.
He was the lead assistant. And I think he can do this as long as the buy-in continues from their two stars. If that happens, everybody else falls in line.
I mean, they both have to be feeling the two stars. I mean, they both have to be feeling a sense of unfinished business, given how last season ended. They both have to be feeling
especially Tatum.
This is ours this year.
Especially Tatum. I'm sure he's got something to prove, and I know he will.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a great player. So there you have it. All the MVP candidates we highlighted first time guys. 2 of them were in action yesterday. Both played pretty well. Tatum better than Embiid, but Embiid had a very good game also. He's so huge. I watched him go up on this one like leaning layup that he made, and whoever was like around him, I felt terrible for the guy because like Embiid like lost his footing as he went up, and he like fell splat on top of this guy. I was like, oh man, is this guy gonna get up? He just got like basically pancaked by Embiid to the ground. It's like that's a almost 300-pound man falling right on top of you.
That play.
I was like, oh boy, who was that? Who got crushed?
That was interesting.
Yeah, who was that got crushed?
What I don't like about Philly's offense is it'll start with Harden, and he'll take some time off the clock to try to let something develop. But the ball ends up in Embiid's hands far too often, 20 to 22 feet away from the basket.
Yeah.
That can't be.
Yeah, get him closer. He should catch the ball 8 to 12 feet.
He should be just outside the line.
Yep.
And that's where he needs the ball. That's where he's going to be even more effective.
Agreed.
Because the Celtics don't really, without Williams, who can bang him, Celtics don't really have anyone that can stop him.
That's true.
Most teams don't.
No, well, that's why he's an MVP candidate.
Yes, but they have to be smarter with their offense. And it's not as much the players as I think it's above them. And I won't get into that again. You seem to do that quite well for me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you have to utilize what you've got. I think Embiid deeper in the post opens up things on the wings and corners for Harris. And Embiid's a more than willing and capable passer.
Well, yeah, he had 5 assists in this game.
Yeah. You double him, he'll move the ball. And they're not using their assets properly.
Wonder if that's coaching.
You know, you're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but I wonder what Ime Udoka could do with that team.
Probably more than Doc Rivers.
I mean, we won't know for a year. But
yeah, that's true. If at all.
If you're the Philly owner, do you say, let's bring this guy in one day after his suspension's over?
Let's do it. I'm in. Why not?
He's proven he knows how to use personnel.
Well, there you have it. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back. We'll talk radio question of the day. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300 100,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. That's 800-370-2460.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the largest collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do, and you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617.
Major League Baseball just walked into Charlotte's Web. I am KO, back in 1 minute with your sports question of the day.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
800-414-1657. That's 800-414-1657.
Charlotte's Web is the official CBD Major League Baseball sponsor. The deal makes MLB the first top-tier sports league to announce a CBD sponsorship. Charlotte's Web advertises being the market share leader in the $5 billion CBD industry, and Sports Business Journal reports the company's new deal with MLB has industry experts predicting Charlotte's Web could triple in value by 2026. For those looking to give the CBD a go, Charlotte's Web will be using its own e-commerce platform to launch its new sports line of MLB CBD products. Question: which would you rather have at the ball game? A Budweiser, Corona, or CBD?
Oh, I'm taking the beer. That's easy. Not even close.
Yeah, I'll take the Corona.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, let's I'll take the Budweiser, but man, I'll take the Corona too, actually. Yeah, definitely not the CBD. I personally detest that stuff. And I won't even give it a try. It's actually one of the only categories of advertisers that I would not accept here on the show for the same reason. I feel very strongly that it's a gateway product to other stuff more often than I'm comfortable with for something that's now legal. So I'm just going to choose to not participate in any way, benefit in any way from something I personally disagree with very strongly. So that's what I have to say about that. So yeah, no, I definitely don't want CBD anything.
I admit I tried it for pain.
Yep, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say people, everyone's different. That's just me personally. I won't go near this stuff.
I did, and I found it ineffective.
Okay. Well.
And for the expense, I didn't think it was worth the money. So no, I mean, they can do whatever they want with it. It doesn't. It's not something I plan on using again because I thought, again, for the cost,
It didn't work.
it didn't work. It didn't alleviate my pain. And someone told me, well, you got to try to take more. I said, see, that's the thing you need to avoid.
That's right. That's any drug.
Right.
The second they start trying to increase your dosage, that's when you know it's like, well, how effective is this?
I mean, I won't take more aspirin if I need them.
Right. Yeah, you take the amount
It
that
doesn't solve a problem.
right.
It just masks it. And this didn't even mask the problem. I was still in pain.
You're still
And you know what I went through. And
Yep.
not fun, but I don't at all recommend CBD.
there we go.
And I don't
Corona,
care
on the
if-
other hand, the beer. Not,
I highly recommend Corona.
yes, absolutely. As long as you have the lime, it's
You
key.
stuff a lime in there.
You're good to go.
and
That's it.
You are like in Suds heaven.
Do you have a favorite variety of Corona? They have so many different ones. I like the darker one. I think that one's
The
cool.
darker one's not bad. My go-to is normally the OG, but
Yeah, that's probably the safest play.
the darker one is not bad. The only one I haven't tried was the light.
Yeah, I've tried the light by accident one time because the bottle and the lettering on it are very similar to the
Yes.
original. So I just grabbed it at the store one time without realizing it was the light. And it does lack some of the flavor of the original. It's not a particularly strong light beer. Like the way Bud Light is actually almost better than regular Budweiser. That's not the case with Corona Light, in my opinion.
Okay.
But yeah, so no, I would rather the Corona than Bud or CBD.
So it was closer to a Coors Light
Yes.
than a Bud Light.
Yes.
Or light. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I think. Coors Light's another one. That's just a beer you drink when it's like, I just need something to quench my thirst.
That's a gateway beer.
It is a gateway beer. my gateway beer was Heineken. That was my first legal drink. I remember this only because my dad, there was this little cabinet above our fridge at my parents' house growing up, and my dad saved the bottle cap for my first legal drink for years. He just
wow.
wedged it in one of the little those crevices inside some cabinets, on the face of them. So he just stood it up inside one of those crevices as a memento.
Wow.
It was up there for years. It was very funny.
My gateway beer was Miller.
Miller, the Larry
Not
Bird
Miller
beer.
Light. Miller Heavy.
Oh, Miller
That's
Heavy.
The real thing.
The real Miller, not the Larry
Yeah.
Bird beer.
And Barkley tells an interesting story about Bird.
Oh no, Bird drank people under the table.
Downing 12 beers and then kicking his ass on the court.
Oh, that's great.
And then someone not long after bought me a St. Pauli girl.
I've had that beer before. That's an old school
And-
beer.
It is, but from that point on, I explored trying as many different beers as I could. And I've settled in on a few, but
Yeah, I have my favorites at this point, but I still do a lot of exploring. In fact, one of my favorite things to do every year here in the Hudson Valley, we have a number of craft beer festivals, and I love going to those. Typically, it's about $60 or so, $60 to $100, and basically you get this 2-ounce tasting glass, and you just walk around the event center. Most of the time, they're outdoors. It's some kind of park, usually on the waterfront somewhere. And you just go and get 2-ounce pours of everything all around. Like that, there's usually 50 or so vendors. Most vendors have about 2 beers with them at any given time. Some have a few more. It's awesome. Then there's usually food and food trucks and live music. It's a really good time.
right.
Really good time. So there you have it.
Like my friend Chris always says, craft, not crap.
That's right. All about the craft, baby. All about the craft.
That's right.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's today's question of the day. An easy one. You have 2 beer nuts over here. So no CBD on this show. Plenty of Corona, though.
Oh, yeah.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at the upcoming slate of NBA games for tonight. And then we will also get you a few hockey scores from last night. And we got some football to get to and a little baseball as well. Yankees moving on. And the Phillies win game 1. It's the Gary Ayd Show. Back after this here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
All right, we're back. Gary Ayd, Rich Anselmo, and we are going to go through our NBA schedule for tonight, which is a little bit meatier than last night, although it's really tomorrow where things fully kick off. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we got for tonight, Rich.
Well, let's start with a battle of bottom teams,
Ooh,
which
yes.
might actually make this an interesting game. Orlando's at Detroit. The Wizards take on the Pacers. Be your first chance to get a look at the Pacers rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's at Atlanta. Again, to see some of the young players in Houston. A really good game down in South Florida. Chicago is at the Heat. Pelicans at Brooklyn. Let's take a look and see how Zion's looking.
There's more games tonight than I remember. I thought there was like fewer. So this is pretty much a full slate.
Oh, there's 12 games.
Yeah, this is a full slate. Okay, good.
The Cavs start their season at Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
That's two middle of the pack teams that are going to be competing for something. So every game against each other is important.
You know I love my toilet bowls. We got a winter toilet bowl tonight. Let me tell you, I can't wait to watch Charlotte at San Antonio. Ball is out with an injury, isn't he?
He is.
Oh, my God. Jordan's going to have to suit up in this game. He'll be the best player on the court.
I was just going to say, he probably would be.
60-year-old Jordan. What a disaster that game is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a fun
what
one.
a disaster both of those franchises
Oh,
are.
total mess.
What's your take on the Knicks at Memphis?
I was going to hone in on that one in Cleveland. I think those are the two, and Chicago and Miami. Those are the three most interesting games to me that tonight. Dallas and Phoenix is good too. That's on ESPN, but I won't be awake for that.
I will be. I can't help it.
Knicks have their work cut out for them. This is a really good team, Memphis, with a dynamic backcourt. I'm afraid the Knicks backcourt doesn't have the size and length, and outside of Brunson, really their youth to to manage the combination of Morant and Jackson and Bane like that. Like RJ Barrett will hold his own, but like I think the Knicks backcourt's going to get torched tonight. I think this game is a game of the backcourts, and I think the Knicks are going to get torched there. I do think that Mitchell Robinson will help out. I do think Mitchell Robinson will be able to erase some of the blow-bys. Not all of them, of course, but some of them. But ultimately, I think Memphis is a load, man. This is a really good team. I mean, this could very well be a finals team. I don't think the Knicks are going to be terrible this year. I was telling that to my buddy yesterday when I was talking to him. I think they'll be a competitive team, playoff competitive. But this is a finals competitive team. They're playing on the road. This is just a tough spot for the Knicks. I don't see it going well.
It is tough. And I'm with you on that. OKC at Minnesota.
Yeah. See, that game would actually intrigue me if Holmgren was healthy.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch him play. I'm really bummed out that we're not going to get to see him. Jason,
last year I would have loved an opener of Denver at Utah.
Yes. Now
this year, not so much.
By the way, speaking of Utah, their GM got a contract extension in high praise. I'm like, for what? He threw a bomb in the middle of his roster. Like, great job, man. You blew it all up. Here's some money. Thank you. Great job.
Here's some of the money you saved us.
Yeah, that's right. It's a rebate. It's a dividend. That's right. Oh my goodness, what a disaster. Jason says in the chats, I love the Knicks, but I think they get killed tonight. Hope I'm wrong. You're
wrong too.
You're not wrong, Jason. I know you love your sports betting too. So if you could find a bet that you can make some money on the Knicks losing in some way tonight, I think it's a good bet. Couple other games real quick. Want to touch on Cleveland, Toronto, New Orleans, Brooklyn, and Chicago, Miami, Dallas, Phoenix. So we're going to go through those 4 games a little bit in some detail. First with Cleveland, Toronto. This is a really good game. These are 2 well-coached, well-organized teams. I think Cleveland has a talent advantage, particularly in the front court, whereas I think the Knicks game is a battle of the backcourts. I think this game is decided in the front court. I think the combination of Mobley and Allen and then Love off the bench is just too much for Toronto's front court. Toronto's front court's solid, but this Cleveland front court is probably one of the 5 best in the NBA. This is a tough matchup for Toronto in the front court. I think Siakam gives them problems. I think the wings of Toronto will give those small guards of Cleveland problems. But I think ultimately the difference in this game is going to be rebounding. I think Toronto just has a lower margin of error. They have to outshoot Cleveland by a healthy differential, in my opinion, to win, because Cleveland's going to be able to miss some shots and get second chances, and Cleveland's going to be able to get those defensive rebounds on one shot more often when Toronto misses. So I think there's going to be just a lot of pressure on Toronto to outshoot Cleveland at a pretty high rate. And I just think Cleveland has more margin of error, which is why I'm going to go with them in this game.
I am curious to see which one of Cleveland's guards covers Fred VanVleet.
I would assume it would be Garland.
I would too, but whichever one you put out there, you're going to have issues.
See, I want to see the matchup.
He's far from an easy cover.
Oh no!
But then that leaves Mitchell on Anunoby.
And the force
is matchup.
The force is strong with Obi on Kenobi.
And you got Barnes and Siakam, but not Obi-Wan Kenobi though. There's no force there.
Oh, come on.
You didn't comment on that, and I was really expecting.
I tried.
But
what do you think about LeVert, former net? What
Barnes and Siakam, nice.
That's what I mean. I think that's going to give Cleveland problems. But I think LeVert is probably their best wing.
Yes.
Will he get enough time in this game? That's the question.
I may want him on Barnes.
Yeah, or Siakam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this game's going to come down to.
Well, I think Mobley's going to take Siakam straight up.
Yeah, you're probably
Allen
right.
can roam, because when we did the preview on the Raptors, I said this team would be a serious contender if they had even a good center.
Hmm.
Not a star. Doesn't even have to be.
Yeah, if they had someone like Steven Adams or
Mhm.
someone like even I don't know if he's really a center, but the guy coming back for Phoenix this year, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Sarge.
Sarge,
Yep.
more of a forward.
He's more of a
if
forward.
they had Andre Drummond, I would say you've got a
Yep.
shot.
Yep. You know,
And
there's
that would handle some of the rebounding issues too.
there's two players that I don't understand why they're so like just detested by the league. Like he's one of them, Drummond. He still bounces around, but he's, kind of just on the fringe these days. And Greg Monroe. Like these guys are both good players. Greg Monroe's a great passer.
Monroe's a little long in the tooth, but Drummond is not.
I mean, Monroe's only like 32 years old or something, I think. He's not that old.
I thought he was older.
He feels like he's older because he's been out of the league a long time, but
Yeah.
he's not. That's the thing. I personally am surprised by that. Last couple of games that I wanted to get to real quick. New Orleans.
I know
and
you're
Brooklyn.
staying up for that Portland Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking espresso for that one, man. Please. What a disaster. New Orleans and Brooklyn. This is going to be interesting. I assume Zion will play. I know we had the ankle soreness or whatever it was. Of course, this game will be on locally on, I believe it's Yes Network tonight. And then Chicago, Miami. That one to me is an interesting matchup. These two teams are built very similar. Like both of them are really built in the wings, have competent but not spectacular front courts, a little bit undersized. I think if Chicago had a healthy ball, they'd be a lot better. I think this is a toss-up, but I got to give the edge to Miami. They're home. They're the more experienced team. Butler's the best player on the court. But I think this is a good game. I think this might be the most even matchup of the night. I think these two teams are built very much alike.
I think it's a great opener. I really do.
Both teams are well coached.
Yes. Yes, both teams, they're similar but different. The Bulls are built really on offense more, and the Heat are predicated on defense first. So it's going to be interesting. It's like an odd dichotomy, but it's fun when you watch two teams that similar but diametrically opposed play each other.
It is interesting. Last game, Dallas and Phoenix. I wish this didn't start at 10 o'clock. This game is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm up for this.
Oh, I wish I could be. But Dallas is just, maybe I can get the first half in. Dallas is just so much fun to watch. I can't wait to watch them this year. I really want to see how Wood fits there and how Hardaway. I really think Hardaway is going to fill and slide into that Jalen Brunson role. But I just, if I could just watch Luka Doncic on TV, I just want to do it. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
I think it's tough. You need at least 60 to 65 games out of Hardaway.
Yes, you do.
And with past performance, that's no guarantee. But if they can get that out of Hardaway with the addition of Wood, who I think will just fit in seamlessly, he's not going to be a guy who demands the ball. But I don't know. I just think it's going to be a really good game.
I can't wait. It's a good one. It definitely is. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give us some hockey scores real quick. Then we'll hit the break.
Okay. Let us do some good games last night. Congratulations to Lindy Ruff. The same fans that were chanting in the first period to fire him. And I'm telling you, Devils fans don't deserve the guy. He's in 5th place now all time with 783 wins. The 5th most winning coach in NHL history, and the fans want him out. They doubled up the Anaheim Duckies 4-2.
Anaheim Duckies. No,
Yep.
no Gordon Bombay again.
Nope, on the fat list.
Oh man.
Mike Comrie made 46 saves on 48 shots, and Buffalo won in Edmonton 4-2. Impressive win. Brady Tkachuk got a goal and 2 assists. Ottawa 7, Boston 5. Philly came back from a 2-0 deficit to beat Tampa Bay 3-2. Vancouver has not won a game this year, and they have had a 2 or more goal lead in all 4 of them. They did yesterday. Columbus beat them 4-3. The Islanders handled San Jose, winless San Jose 5-2.
Yes, there you go.
Calgary 3, Vegas 2. And the Nashville Predators, usually a pretty reliable team, blew a 3-1 lead and lost to the LA Kings in a shootout. There's only a few games tonight, which is going to leave me with a lot of hoops.
There you go. All right.
And just one quick news note. Gary Bettman offered up some real good news about the salary cap possibly going up by $4 million as early as next season. After the Board of Governors meeting, Bettman indicated that the players could finish repaying for pandemic-related revenue losses later this season. So that $1 billion will be off the books, and that's really necessary.
That is good. That is very good news.
And one quick note from that New Jersey win: there wore their alternate jerseys. They say Jersey on them, which I think is
the jerseys.
Yeah, I think it's the strangest thing in the world. The goalie had a mask on the back of it. It said mask.
Wow.
That's clever.
Mask up.
That is clever.
That's good stuff. All right. Well, there you go. That's your hockey update. We're going to take our last break of the hour. We'll come back. We'll get you caught up on last night's baseball action. And then after that, we'll go into the top 5. We have some news you can use today. We have to do our NFL power rankings. So a lot to get to still. Finishing up hour 1 on the other side of the break. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't, and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you are ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with a free call. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. That's 800-741-9557. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch. Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. That's 800-826-5884.
All right. So the Yankees moving on. And Rich got booted over the break. Unbelievable. I didn't do it. But hey. Those damn gremlins again.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. You never know. You
know,
weren't.
I'm trying to be quick with the hockey.
I was gonna say you were just talking hockey, so you never know what could have happened. I think it was the puck again. I think the puck. There it is. See, there's the guilty culprit. So Yankees move on. They beat the Guardianas. Cortez pitched a good game, and persona non grata, Yankee fans' favorite scapegoat, Giancarlo Stanton, hit an absolute moonshot.
Yes, he did.
I will never understand why the Yankee fans don't like this guy. I know he gets hurt a lot. I understand that, but like, man, when this guy's healthy, he's just an ox. I mean, he's just an imposing, scary guy at the plate.
See, I don't want to hear that he gets hurt a lot. So does Judge before
That
a
you're
contract
right.
year.
That's true. No, you're right.
He delivers when he's there. And there's no reason not to like him. Now, there is a reason to question why, after being horrible a couple of games ago, where was Bieber? And why is Aaron Savali out there again? Didn't he prove to you in the last game he doesn't pitch well against us?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I thought if Bieber played and gave them 5 strong, they might have had a shot. At least made the game interesting. This wasn't. Savali got shelled, and at that point, I kind of felt the game was over.
All right. Look, I understand. It's not good.
It bothers me when people don't use what they have. You know, the old saying, there's no tomorrow, is really true.
It's true.
When you're facing elimination, you put everything out there you have to. Even if the championship series starts the next day. Oh, the Yankees got their hands full, too.
Yeah, they
did. Rested Astro team.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. The question is, where does that series starts when? Tonight?
Today.
Yeah, tonight. No time off. So
the rain out killed him.
Yeah, so you probably don't get to see Garrett Cole until what, game 3 maybe?
Probably. And you'll see him at the most 2 times.
Right.
That might not be enough.
Yeah, he's been
That's
great.
if it goes to 7.
Right. Yeah, he's been great, man. I mean, the 2 starts against Cleveland, he was just money.
Yes.
He really was. I would love to see just one matchup of him and Verlander in this series. That would be great.
Did you see the comment Verlander made at 39 years old? They asked him if he was contemplating retirement. He said, they're going to have to pull the jersey off me. I'm not going anywhere.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome. And like, shit, why would he even be thinking about it yet? Who cares how old he is? Look how good he still is.
Yeah.
Like, if you're that good, everyone's going to want you.
He could pitch on my staff anytime. I mean, I would probably have him as an opening day pitcher, no matter who else I have.
Basically, I mean, yeah, right. I mean, like, who would you absolutely put over him? I mean, DeGrom's not the same right now. He's probably a little bit better than Cole. I mean, he's better than Scherzer right now. I mean, he's better than Bieber, I think. Like, who would you put over him?
Yeah.
I mean, he's about as good a pitcher as there is in baseball.
The only chance he may not be an opening day starter is in L.A.
It's true.
But I wouldn't bet against him.
No.
Hey, speaking of bombs hit last night.
Yes.
Did you see that blast by Schwarber?
Oh, my goodness. That left the park in like half a second.
I know. There was nothing on that. It just...
Zoom. Gone. Yeah, that was...
488 feet.
Yeah, that was insane. Kyle Schwarber is an ox of a man.
Yeah.
He really is. He looks like one of those guys, like he could have been like a co-worker of Mickey Mantle's dad in the mines back in the 40s. Like the guy just looks like a big old country bumpkin with the beard and the round upper body, just a big old like slugger. Love it. Absolutely
And
love
I
it.
mean, he quietly wins the
The home run title.
home. Thank you. I
Yeah.
lost my
Yeah,
word there for a minute.
Well-
He quietly wins the home run title. No one mentions him all year.
Right.
Talking about Alonso because he just hit a lot of them. They're talking about what's his name, the first baseman in St. Louis, Goldschmidt,
Goldschmidt, yep.
who just fell off the planet after hitting 35. I think he ended there. And no one really talks about Schwarber. They talk about Harper, who's a great hitter.
Yes, he is.
But that team has some weapons against a team that could pitch. I mean, San Diego held them to 2 runs. And I give them credit for that. But, wow, you can't make a mistake against this team's lineup. That's not even talking about Real Muto and anyone else on that team. It's going to be an interesting. That's great pitching, but still, one mistake.
That's
and
it.
That's the game.
That's it.
Because Wheeler pitched amazing. He had a super strong game. I know you hate talking about.
I need a break. It's the top of the hour. All right, yeah. Let's
That's kind of why I snagged that from you, so you didn't have to.
painful. Very painful.
I know.
Bad times, bad memories. All right. Let's go ahead and hit the top of the hour break. Back after this in 6 minutes. You have the rewind coming up, of course, and then we will go ahead and get into the top 5. We got NFL power rankings this hour, news you can use, and maybe a couple surprises. So back after this, it's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave. All righty, welcome back. Hour 2 of the Gary Ayd Show, top of the hour, which means, of course, it's time for the top 5.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for King Talk Radio's Top 5.
Thank you, Jack George. What do we got today, Rich?
Well, to celebrate opening night.
Yeah.
And I was so glad it was here. Give me your top 5 all-time NBA opening night performances by individual or team.
Oh, God, I don't even know. I have no idea. Wow. There was one year, I think Kobe and the Lakers opened against the Knicks one year, and Kobe went for like 50. I forget what year that was. It was like early 2000s. It might be like 2005 or 2007, somewhere around there.
I think it was 05.
Yeah, I remember that one. LeBron's first career game against, at the time, this is how long LeBron's been in the league. Believe it or not, kids, there was a time in history where the Kings were actually good, like really good. And this was that time. It was the very end of their golden years, which, were 3 years. But hey, they were golden.
At least they had some. And the franchise won a title.
Yep.
So I'll give them that.
Did they win a title?
Yeah, Rochester Royals.
Oh, right. Way back in the day, yes.
Back in the late 50s.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah, but they've won one. It's better than my Clippers have done.
That's right. But yeah, so way back in the day, 2004, LeBron as a rookie. No, 2003, excuse me. LeBron as a rookie. He went out there and just put up an absolute show. And I remember Chris Webber talking about it years later, because Webber was on those Kings teams. They played the Kings, and Webber was like, he's like, this guy can't be 18. He's like, there's just no way. This guy just graduated high school. He's like already one of the 10 best players in this league. He said, this is crazy. So that was a lot of fun. And that's one of those things that every generation has, where like we can recant that story 100 times, and we will over the years, I'm sure. But if you weren't there, you can't, like, if you weren't like alive and old enough to appreciate it, you can't really relate the emotions that the audience was feeling, because you have to understand something. LeBron coming into the league was like the Beatles coming to Madison Square Garden. It was like Elvis is in the building. Like there was never in my life a more anticipated debut of any athlete ever. I mean, it was really crazy. And then for him to pay it off like that against a team that was that good, it just was insane. So that's definitely on there. Let's see what else. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's opening day rookie debut was really fun. They played the Clippers, as a matter of fact. Kareem hits a game winner. Magic like choked him out basically in celebration, and Kareem's like, "Hey, dude, we got 81 games to go. Stop choking me."
Yes.
And Magic's like, "Oh, sorry. I'm too excited." That was a good one. I think another fun opening night for me was the year after the Lakers won their first title post Shaq. I don't even remember so much the game or performances, but I just remember how like excited my favorite player was, how excited Kobe was, how much that championship specifically meant to him. And as a fan of the sport, that, and a fan of that particular player, that was memorable to me.
I remember every one of these you're saying.
Let's see what other ones we got. I would imagine opening day, first game for Wilt Chamberlain must have been crazy, but I can't say I know. I can't say I remember that, so I'm not going to go there. But like, I would imagine that had to be like, oh, what's this? Where they find this guy?
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Can we send them back, please? We're not ready for this. we don't want none of this smoke. Oh my goodness.
Everything you
Yeah.
have said, I echo. I'll give you one more.
Yeah.
1973-74 season. Buffalo Braves took on the Houston Rockets. This was game one of Bob McAdoo's second year as a rookie. He averaged 18 points a game, and no one knew what to expect. Well, not only did they win the game, a team that had won 22 games or 21 the year before, McAdoo went out and had 31 points, 21 rebounds.
Wow.
And they did not keep track every game of blocks, but he had 5.
McAdoo was a great player.
Yes.
A great player. Yeah, that's a good one. Magic Johnson, the year he had AIDS. That wasn't really opening day, was it? But it was the Olympics, I guess is what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, he was he did come back opening day.
He did? The year after he
on that
announced
season, yes.
Okay. But it wasn't known yet that he had HIV. Right?
No, this was after he
So he announced he had HIV and they still let him play for a little while? I thought he retired.
well, no, he
sight
missed
unseen.
time, and then they
Yeah, I believe he announced HIV and then he was gone until he came back in '96 for a brief time, like half a season as a player, and he played, of course, in the on the Dream Team.
yes.
That was the timeline on that. So yeah, I think that AIDS year that the users talking about in the chats was not a an NBA opening day, but yeah, we can double check that, but I'm pretty sure. No, I think that's a good list. Number 1 for me is going to be LeBron, his debut. Number 2, I think, is going to be Magic's debut. Number 3 is going to be Kobe in the year that they won their first championship post Shaq. Number 4, I would say Kobe dropping 50, or it was something like that on an opening night. And number 5, yeah, I wasn't there for it, but that McAdoo game sounds pretty good. So I'm going to put that on my list.
That was I was actually there.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
And that was quite an interesting game. I'll give you one more.
What you got?
2011-2012 season. LeBron, after the Heat lost to Dallas,
yes,
he came out opening night against Dallas, an 11-point win. He had 37 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and was a plus 27.
Jeez.
That's an opening night and a little bit of revenge.
A little bit. There we go. All right. Well, there's our top 5. Pretty good stuff. What else we got today? We got our power rankings still to get to. We got some news you can use.
And you said we had a couple of surprises, perhaps.
Couple of surprises, perhaps. Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to those surprises next. Then we'll do our power rankings and we'll finish it up with news you can use. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Do you own a timeshare? Well, face the facts. You made a mistake. You made a bad purchase. A timeshare is not an investment. It's a money pit that continues forever. If you use your timeshare, that's great. But if you don't and you want to legally get out of your contract, call my friends right now at the Timeshare Exit Hotline. They're an experienced team of lawyers who help good people like you get out of a timeshare contract that they just don't want. Don't throw away your money on maintenance fees. Use it for things you really want. We can help you end your timeshare contract and stop the money drain immediately. If you are ready to move on with your timeshare, call our team right now.
Cancel your timeshare now with a free call. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. 800-741-9557. That's 800-741-9557. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. 800-826-5884. That's 800-826-5884.
Now, one of my favorite hobbies is poker. I enjoy the poker scene quite a bit. I've been to Vegas a number of times. One thing I'm not really super keen on is racing. However, there's some big news out of Vegas. The Venetian, which is one of the nicest casinos on the Strip, it's an iconic venue, is investing over $1 billion in renovations, part of which is going to, they are presenting partner of the Vegas Grand Prix. And with the renovations, which are due to be completed in November of 23, the street track of the Vegas Grand Prix will pass the Venetian, with the casino planning to offer suites and experiences connected to the race. That would be pretty cool. I mean, sitting outside the Venetian, watching some cars go by. I'm not a race fan, but that sounds like a fun experience. It really does.
I agree. I'm not a real big race fan either, but I do prefer Formula One to that thing that NASCAR is.
Yeah, I prefer NASCAR to Formula One, but I don't have a strong preference either way. But I do think that's interesting marketing by the Venetian, and really, I mean, I could just visually picture what that's going to look like. Another bit of news we read yesterday, with the NBA media rights due up soon, Amazon could very well be in the bidding along with Apple and some others. I mean, this is now going to become commonplace. The NFL kind of broke the seal with Thursday Night Football this year. And yes, I think you're going to start seeing this more and more.
I mean, the NBA's been doing it for a while.
Well, yeah, with Peacock.
They were groundbreakers by leaving regular television to do cable packages.
Right. Yeah, but as far as like a pure play streamer, they don't really have anything there yet, do they?
Right. They dabbled in Twitter, but ended up doing it more with the W.
Yeah.
Than the NBA. But I can see Apple's very interested, and I can see Apple TV taking some games. You know, you could find games almost every day. Monday is usually NBA TV. Tuesday, Thursday are TNT, Wednesday, Friday, ESPN. The only day you really don't have covered is Saturday.
Right.
And I could see Apple TV or Amazon or someone bidding, maybe both, to do one Saturday and one Sunday, to take those games from those days. Who knows? Maybe the Christmas Day games get involved, although I don't think the NBA would do that.
Yeah, I find that hard
That's-
to imagine.
It's too big of a day for them.
Yeah.
But then again, what's the price tag, and what do you not say no to?
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, and also, does Apple or Amazon want to go above and beyond like that simply for that game? I don't know.
For 5 games, I could see it, because look what Amazon paid to get the Black
NFL.
Friday games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
It's one day. Well, you've heard of that thing for kids, Build-A-Bear? How about Build-A-Bear's Stadium? Man, they can't even get this right. I don't know if you saw this,
Build-A-Bear Stadium.
but the Bears purchased this 325-acre property in Arlington Heights, but the mayor there doesn't seem confident the team's actually going to move there.
What?
Oh, they were expected to close on a $197 million land purchase. It's where Arlington Park Racetrack used to be, by the end of this year. But the mayor said it's certainly possible that the board could reject the Bears' $5 billion development plans. Concerns about traffic, parking, and taxpayer money could affect this. And Mayor Tom Hayes said the plans are early and they don't include much detail, but there's concerns and questions that have to be answered. Interesting. The board's going to hold a final vote on November 7th, but the Bears have already made it known they want to leave the city of Chicago, but how do you handle this?
I mean, they can't leave Chicago. I mean, like they're the Bears. They're like the most iconic thing in that town. I guess they'd be the Chicago Bears, but they would play in a suburb, basically.
Right. But a lot of people don't want them to leave Chicago.
Well, that's understandable. But
and did you see from our friends at FOS that Stan Kroenke's got to pay the
like $500 million or something.
$571 million for relocation.
Ouch.
When can they do that? I mean, the city of St. Louis sued, and they wanted more than $1 billion. They settled on $790 million. Well, the league paid off $219 million. In May, the league deducted about $7 million from each of the other 31 teams' revenue sharing. Why is every team in the league paying for this?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, exactly. Like why should Dallas pay for LA moving from St. Louis? That's not fair.
And they're holding the other 500 plus over Kroenke's head, but can they legally make him pay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. You also saw the NBA began with a trio of $5 billion franchises for the first time.
That's amazing. That's a lot of money. I mean, because those franchises, Golden State, Lakers, and Knicks, I'm assuming, right? Or the three.
The Knicks are first, believe it or not.
Yep.
$5.8 billion valuation. Now the league average is $2.5 billion, which is way up year over year. Yeah, the Warriors are 5.6. The Lakers are 5.5. The Bulls came in fourth at 3.65. That's an 11% increase year over year.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a big number in one year. I mean, you're talking when you're talking in the billions or just out of the billions of dollars. I mean, that's a huge number.
Speaking of the NBA, what's your take on the jersey patch?
I don't have a problem with it. I really don't.
Okay, some people really do.
They're a they're fairly unobtrusive. I wouldn't want to see them start looking like soccer jerseys, which are just like, billboards, but
Or NASCAR.
right,
Yeah.
right, or NASCAR or something like that. But I think the way they're doing it right now is tasteful and not disruptive. I don't have a real problem with it.
Well, neither do they, because it's going to bring in over 225 million this year.
It's amazing,
isn't it? And NBA owners secured a record 1.46 billion in sponsorship deals. Wow.
It's good to be the king.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the Lakers. Their jersey patch, a 5-year deal, was worth more than $100 million.
It's unbelievable. That
Brooklyn's 30 million per year.
One thing I was reading too is that this is some time ago, but cryptocurrency is kind of lost its luster quite a bit, and
yes,
that naming rights of Crypto Arena, whatever it's called now, might be
crypto.com,
might be on the skids, but the Lakers are trying to hold them to it. So that could be something that falls apart too.
Hey, guess what? If they signed,
that's it. Might go bye-bye. All right, well, let's take a quick break.
If they signed, they have a legal right to hold them to it.
Oh, they do. Of course they do. And that's what they're trying to do. We got
another first for the league before we go. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to forget this. All 5 Christmas Day games this year will be shown on ABC as well as ESPN.
Oh, wow, a simulcast. Wow.
That's huge.
That is huge. That really is. Good stuff. We got power rankings coming up, some news you can use. That'll do the rest of the show. Back after this, the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Are you like me? You have health insurance, but you don't have dental insurance. Do you need to get to the dentist right away? Maybe you need an implant or some other major service. Well, I found a dental insurance plan that's just right for you. It's called Spirit Dental. Spirit Dental offers a $100 lifetime deductible, a huge network of dentists. And here's the best part. There's no waiting periods. Yeah, that means you can call right now and have real dental insurance for you and your family tomorrow and get that immediate coverage you want. Spirit Dental has plans for just a few dollars a day, up to $5,000 annual maximum, and coverage for implants. Whatever age you are, the dental insurance you need is a free phone call away. Now don't wait, and be sure to ask about Spirit's vision plan. Here's the number: 800-631-9229. 800-631-9229. That's 800-631-9229.
Hey friend, life happens and you need money. What do? You call the special toll-free number we're about to give you. We will send you a link to your phone with details on how you can loan up to $5,000. Couldn't you use $5,000 to pay for your rent, pay grocery bills, get your car repaired, or whatever you need? It's up to you. We don't care. We're just here to lend you the money. And we'll lend people money with good, bad, or no credit at all. Of course, some terms and conditions apply, and you'll see those on the link we're going to send you. So if you need up to $5,000 maybe as soon as the next business day, call this number right now. We will text you a free link with details.
Paid for by Money Mutual. Call 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
Okay, we're back, and let's get to our NFL power rankings as we head into week 7 already. Pretty incredible that we're already in week 7.
It is, and buys are starting to take place.
Yep. Well, the Raiders had their bye this past week.
Buffalo has theirs this coming week, which means they're number 1 on mine, and that's probably where they're going to stay.
There you go.
What do you have?
All right. Well, NFL power rankings for me. I got Buffalo number 1, like you do. I got the Eagles number 2. I've been convinced. It took me a while, but I'm convinced now. I got the Chiefs at 3. I'm gonna put the this is a bit of a stretch here, but I'm gonna go with Dallas at number 4. I know they lost to the Eagles, but I think this is a really good team. So I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys at 4. Then I'm gonna go number 5. The Minnesota Vikings have been really good. I'm starting to believe in them a little bit. So I got them at 5. Number 6, I'm going with hometown team New York Giants, also 5-1. Number 7, I'm going with the Chargers. Number 8, it's a toss-up for me. I can't do it with the Jets just yet. They have to do it for me one more week before I can put them in my top 10. I'm not there with them yet, but I'm getting there. Number 8, I'm going to go with my 49ers. I know they're only 3-3, but I really like their roster still. Bosa and Williams look like they're on their way back. That will help a lot. So I'm going to go with them at number 8. Number 9, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. And number 10, I'm not giving up on them yet. I'm going to put the LA Rams.
Okay. We differ on a few. I, too, have the Bills first and the Eagles second.
Okay.
I was not ready to put Kansas City that high, although I do have them in 4th. I have the Vikings 3rd.
Okay.
They're 5-1, and they've been pretty consistent. I do have the Chiefs 4th. I have a little more faith than you do. Right now, I have the Giants 5th.
Okay, yeah, I have them. I have them 6th or 7th. Not that far down.
6th.
Yeah. Yep.
I have the Chargers 6th. They need to get healthy. I have the Cowboys 7th. They are proving something. I have the Ravens 8th.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Jets 9th. Why? Because they're playing well. I have the Niners 10th. I think last week was an aberration. I do not have the Rams. Yeah, might they get better? Sure. But right now, I had the Bengals and Patriots over the Rams.
Yeah, the Patriots are starting to open some eyes for me.
Yes.
This Zappy guy looks pretty good. It almost seems unfair for the Patriots to find another random guy the back of their bench. You're like, oh, look how good this guy is.
Well, and I think it just proves that. Look at the difference. I never felt Jones was the answer, and I don't know. I just don't. I don't see it.
No,
I'd like to see more of this kid, but
yeah, the Jets are not in my top 10 yet. To answer the question in the chat, I did say that actually. I don't think. They have to win 1 or 2 more games. See, the reason the Giants made my top 10 this week, besides their record, which is a game better than the Jets, but the bigger reason was that win they had this past Sunday proved something to me. They were behind to a really good team in the 4th quarter, and they won. That's a really good team that they beat in Baltimore. They were down 14 in the 4th and came back and won. That's a real statement win to me. I need one of those wins from the Jets. Just one. And the thing is, the Jets to me have a little less on their side than the Giants, but I will say I like the Jets quarterback better. I think Wilson's the real deal. Like I said yesterday, I think he's got the goods. I don't know about Jones. I think Jones is a game manager. I think Wilson has a chance to be a star. But I'm looking at their schedule right now. The two teams that they've played, I think, are actually good, Baltimore and Cincinnati. And I think they're both just over the border of good. I don't think either's great, particularly Cincinnati, but they've lost to both of them. The teams they've beat, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Miami, Green Bay, not super impressive. They have Denver coming up. If they can beat New England, I forget Buffalo. If they ever beat Buffalo, that's a whole different story. But Denver, I expect them to beat, which is their game this week. If they can beat New England at home in week 8, and then they're 6-2, I'll put them in that.
Okay, it's fair enough.
They just haven't had a quality win yet in my book that would make me believe they're anything more than just a team that's managed their bad teams, which is a step in the right direction for them, right? Because, I mean, you know, they've always been the team that the other teams get fat and happy on too. So
Right.
It's definitely a step in the right direction. I don't want to say that they're not improving because they are.
I think they're just getting better week by week.
They really are.
I think with Wilson coming in, it makes a difference. He shows me so much. I'm not seeing them splitting the Buffalo games, but I'm only because I don't think they can score with them. But I see them much improved. I think they can handle Miami and New England. I understand your trepidation, and I don't disagree with it.
Yeah. Well, it depends what New England we're going to get, because I tell you what, New England the last 2 weeks looks really good. And to your point, you have them in your top 10. They're probably in the on-deck circle.
I don't.
For
I
me.
have them just outside.
Oh, just outside. Okay. Yeah. Oh, because you went with Cincinnati over them.
No, the Niners are my 10th.
The Niners. Okay.
I have New England, and Cincinnati just outside.
Just outside. Okay.
And I didn't have the Rams as high as you because my belief level is just not there yet.
Understood.
I didn't put much stock into who did they play beating the Panthers.
Oh, me either.
I just didn't.
No, I continue to keep them on my radar because of what I believe they can be, and eventually at some point this season I think will be. So it's more of a bet on what I think will happen versus what's happened. So I try to balance what's happened with what I believe is going to happen with these power rankings. But yeah, the Bills are clearly number one. I think there's no question about that. I mean, they're the best team of football right now.
And I kind of wish they played the Eagles.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, they have a week off, then they come back with Green Bay, but it's in Buffalo. Weather shouldn't matter. Because no matter what kind of weather Buffalo gets,
Green Bay gets it too.
Green Bay can say, wait a minute.
Wait, I know this. That's on my bucket list of places to go is Lambeau Field.
I have been to Lambeau Field, and it needs to be.
Yeah.
Even before you get into the stadium, when you walk around the Ring of Fame and everything, which is covered, so weather's not going to bother it. But, just looking at all the incredible Packers history around there. And then the stadium itself, I took a tour, and it's amazing.
You know, when you really think about it, when you look back at the decade of the 60s in sports, you were three of the all-time iconic dynasties, one in each of the three biggest sports. You had the Yankees in the 60s. Well, theirs was more in the 50s into the 60s. Then you had the Lakers, the Celtics, excuse me, and you had the Packers.
Yeah.
All in one decade. I mean, and two of those three, the Celtics and the Packers, I think it's fair to say are the greatest dynasties in the history of their respective sports. The Celtics, unquestionably. The Packers, I believe so. If you account not just Super Bowls, but NFL championships that they won from the end of the 50s through the end of the 60s, that 10-year run.
Right.
I mean, they're pretty.
I think the Steelers' 4 Super Bowls in the 70s competes with that.
Yep, the Niners in the 80s and the Patriots
Yes.
over the last 2 decades were pretty consistent too.
Yes.
Those are the other contenders, but that's why I said the Celtics are undoubtedly the greatest dynasty in the history of basketball and probably in the history of sports, other than maybe like the Yankees from like the late 30s, really from like the Babe Ruth years until like the 50s. They were like almost unbeatable. Like it was
Right.
stupid, actually.
Right. Interesting, though.
There we go.
Very interesting. But if you ever do get a chance to go to Green Bay, do it.
I'm in. Let's make it happen. All right.
Someone just said the tour of MSG was good too.
Okay.
I don't disagree, but I've been in that arena so much. I mean, it was my second home for a while when I was covering the Liberty. So
Yeah.
I don't need a tour. I think I've seen the entire thing.
Yeah, understood. There you go. All right, let's take our last break. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up with news you can use. It's the Gary Ayd Show here on The Cave.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. 800-370-2460. That's 800-370-2460.
Come on, you watch the news. Be prepared to pay more taxes. Then, if you owe back taxes or haven't filed in a few years, get ready. The IRS, the collection agency in the world, will be coming after you with the power to collect taxes by any means they want to. Hey, they can freeze your bank account, your passport, even padlock your business. Oh, good times. Look, if the IRS claims you owe them $5,000 or more in back taxes and they're coming after you, don't panic. Call my friends at Get a Tax Lawyer first. Their job is to negotiate with the IRS and save you money. They're experts at it. That's all they do. And you can trust them. In some cases, they have reduced a $50,000 tax bill to less than $1,000. If you owe the IRS $5,000 or more in back taxes, call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. 800-649-8617. That's 800-649-8617.
All righty, it's time for some news you can use.
There's some things I hate starting off with, but I just want to get this out of the way. These things drive me nuts. Evgeny Kuznetsov was suspended 1 game for high-sticking Vancouver Canucks defenseman Kyle Burroughs in the face.
Ouch.
I think this punishment's far too lenient. It was a malicious and reckless slash at an opponent. Burroughs was defenseless on the play. The Department of Player Safety acknowledged this, that they said he deserved to be penalized. But 1 game? I say at least 10. Okay, he's been clean in his 10 years. He's only been fined once. Come on. I think players need to be held to a higher standard than that. And you know me well enough to know I'm very consistent on this, and I feel the same way across every league.
Okay, there you go. Makes sense. I mean, it is interesting that they would have a basically a clause in there for being long period of time of good behavior. I do think that should matter. I honestly do. But you know, high sticking someone in the face maliciously is a pretty significant offense.
Yeah, some people are calling for 20. I say 10 was enough, but I wouldn't have complained at 20. Former 49ers and Titans tight end Delaney Walker has announced his retirement. That came from Mr. Rappaport.
Yep. Ian Rappaport.
And I posted that on Cave Talk Radio NY Facebook page yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I also posted something I really want your comments on. I posted something from SNY where they asked if DeGrom doesn't re-sign, do the Mets go after Ohtani or Aaron Judge, if not both? And I really want your thoughts.
I would go after Ohtani because you're going to need a pitcher. And I would go after him. But if you lose DeGrom. But
yes,
I would rather them retain DeGrom and go after a third baseman or another outfielder, just one more guy that can drive the ball with some power. I don't think you need Judge or Ohtani. You don't need to go that high, but I think you need to get another 25 home run guy in this lineup. And I think that would really go a long way. I think that couple of bullpen arms, retain DeGrom, and a improvement at catcher to platoon with Alvarez. I'm okay with Nito in that capacity, but I'm done with McCann. So I just hope that the Mets are planning to make Alvarez kind of the starter next year with Nito sort of his platoon backup.
This was from Baseball Night in New York on SNY, and they said it seems likely if the Mets re-signed DeGrom, they might not make another big signing or trade. But two other names they mentioned, Carlos Correa, which I like.
Yeah, that would be good.
Would be a perfect addition.
Agreed.
And Trey Turner.
Ooh. Oh,
I
baby.
wouldn't complain about that either.
Baby. I'd be thrilled with either of those. Carlos Correa is one of these guys, man, that he is just a gamer. He's one of these guys that gets big hits all the time.
Yes.
I would love to have him. Actually,
and he has power.
Yeah, he does. That would be perfect.
Those were just two things I put on the website last night and was curious about why does this keep happening?
Yeah, so that's pretty good stuff. What else we got?
I've got Restream there. I'm back. I've got Restream keeps stopping on me for some reason. And I don't understand why. What? On Monday, I thought this was interesting. Yankees players had uniforms and eye black on the ready for Game 5 against the Guardians. So before that happened, they knew. They really felt they were doing this.
There you go.
Philadelphia was the center of the sports world.
Oh, it was.
With three teams on national TV, the Eagles,
yep,
the Phillies, and the Flyers.
Yeah.
Who remain undefeated, too. The Flyers and the Eagles are both undefeated. It's interesting because you don't normally see this with one city that's not Tampa Bay or Boston. And it's nice to see another city jump into this. Now, if we can just make it happen for New York. The Celtics last night were the first team busted for this new take a foul rule. The Sixers got an extra free throw. They're trying to get the league to stop with what they call Euro fouling, like fouling in the backcourt to prevent a fast break, not making a play on the ball. What are your thoughts on this? Because I kind of like the fact that they're taking this seriously and not and not not letting them get away with it.
You know, I I'm okay with it. I am. The whole traveling thing um was never really my biggest concern with basketball rules. To me, it's like, whatever. Like, unless it's like a guy like walks the ball up the entire court or something like that. Like, this one I know bothers a lot of people. It never bothered me. I'd much rather them crack down, and I think they have, on like the rip through and the James Harden sand nonsense that just like, because that grinds the game to a halt with all the stoppages for free throws, and it's just boring to watch. I don't care if a guy takes an extra step here and there. It really doesn't matter to me.
The extra step doesn't bother me because most players do it, but I've seen 6 or 7 steps, and come on.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like the fact they let it get to ridiculousness. But otherwise, it really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have any kind of effect. So I'm kind of with you on that. But when it gets egregious, I would like to see it called.
okay.
Something else I really want your take on, and I think is very interesting. Colts owner Jim Irsay
Yes.
says, quote, potentially there will be enough votes to oust Dan Snyder from the commies. Jim Irsay, really? Hello, Pop. This is kind of, I mean, Jim Irsay has his share too.
Yes. No one, in my opinion, deserves to have their team removed.
I agree.
That's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line.
I completely agree.
I don't care what they've done. So, here's an interesting question for you.
Okay.
If you are a member of the 76ers bench right now, what are you thinking after game 1?
It's not even a sample size, so I want to see what happens. Once is a concern, 2 or 3 times is a trend. Within a week, if it's not addressed, I'll address it. I'll ask, what are we not doing that you don't have the faith in us to be able to go out there and play? What about you?
I personally, I really think that I would be upset at last night's game because, like, I know it's one game, but, like, my goodness, the whole bench barely played. I mean, like, Harrell in particular, he's a guy that should be getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 minutes a night. He really should be 25 to 30 minutes a night. This isn't a guy that should be playing 10 minutes, in a game, which is what he played in this one. I mean, like, this guy really needs to be playing at the absolute least double that.
I agree.
He's too good not to.
He should get at least 24 minutes, probably a little more.
Right. Like, he should be in that 20 to 27, 28 range a night.
You have players that need to play.
Yes.
That need consistency in minutes because their game is so much about movement. He never stops when he's on the floor.
Yeah, it's one thing if Korkmaz doesn't play a lot, but like a guy like Harrell is just way too good.
I like Korkmaz just for shooting.
No, he's good.
And you needed something off the bench.
No, he's good. But I just think that, like, if he doesn't have a big game one night, if he plays only 10 minutes one night, I'm not going to be mad about it. Harrell's too good. He's just too good. He needs to be in more. That's the bottom line.
Right. Oh, I agree. I think the bench was totally misused. I would hope it's just a one-game thing, but if not, it definitely needs to be addressed. And if players don't feel they can get anywhere with Doc, it needs to go upstairs. Or if there's an assistant coach you feel comfortable talking to.
Yes. Oh man, what a mess.
Heavy emphasis on comfortable.
All right, we got time for one more.
Okay, I posted this yesterday on the Cave Talk Radio NY page on Facebook. Cowboys Jerry Jones told Robert Kraft, "Don't with me at NFL meetings."
What?
Apparently, they got into a quite heated altercation during the meetings. They voted 31-1 to approve the compensation committee to open negotiations on a new deal for Goodell. But Jerry Jones doesn't like it. And Kraft was one of the 31 owners to show support for the competition committee. Jones was the only one to disapprove. Okay, why just Kraft? Why not 30 others? I just don't understand it.
I understand. I hear you.
And I'm feeling that you don't either.
I mean, look. Ultimately, all these guys, like, it's just not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No.
The whole thing is silly. All right, I'm gonna end the show with this today. If you can stay up, Dallas and Phoenix could probably be the best game tonight. I can't, so I think Knicks, Memphis, certainly local flavor, and also I'm really looking forward to watching Chicago, Miami as well. Those games I'll definitely will tune in for, and we will be back tomorrow breaking those games down. Of course, the Yankees play tonight as well. Game 1 of the ALCS with the Astros. So that's something to keep an eye on. We'll break that game down tomorrow, and we will take it from there. Of course, Thursday Night Football, and then we get set for the weekend. It's rocking and rolling here. It's the Gary Ayd Show. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 to noon here on The Cave.